Have you ever dived to the bottom of a deep swimming pool and felt that sudden, sharp ache in your ears? Or maybe you've been on a plane, taking off, and out of nowhere, pop.
That physical sensation you're feeling, that's the invisible, literal weight of a fluid pressing right against you. By the end of this explainer, you're going to understand exactly what forces are at play here. We'll build a precise formula behind it together, and you'll know how to calculate real-world pressure for anything, from a massive dam to the crushing depths of the ocean. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The invisible weight above you. So, when we talk about pressure in a fluid, whether that's liquid water or the invisible air we breathe, we're actually just talking about weight. It's kind of like a giant stack of heavy winter blankets. Think about it. The blanket on the very top isn't carrying any extra weight, but the blanket at the very bottom, it has to support the weight of every single blanket stacked directly above it. Fluids work exactly the same way. The deeper you go, the more fluid is stacked directly on top of you, and so the more weight is pressing down. That weight, spread out over an area, is what we actually call pressure.
Section 2. Deriving the pressure formula.
Now that we've got the basic idea down, let's step up to the chalkboard and actually build this formula together, step by step. First up, step 1. We know basic pressure is simply the weight of the fluid, which is mass times gravity, divided by the area it's resting on. But, well, how do you find the mass of a giant lake? Step 2. Mass is just the fluid's density multiplied by its volume. And if we're looking at a column of fluid, its volume is just its horizontal area multiplied by its depth. Okay, step 3. Here's where the magic happens. When we substitute that all back in, we get density times area times depth times gravity, all divided by area. And look at that! The area perfectly cancels out.
Which leaves us with this super elegant definition. P equals H rho G. Pressure due to the weight of a static fluid equals its depth, that's the H, times its average density, represented by that Greek letter rho, times gravity, G. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is that to find the pressure of any static fluid, all you need to know is how deep you are and how dense that fluid is.
But wait, hold on. Let's pause right here, because this is a massive trap that catches so many students. Did you notice what's totally missing from that formula? Area. The horizontal shape literally does not matter. Only depth drives pressure. If you have a massive, sprawling lake that's exactly 10 meters deep and a tiny, narrow vertical pipe that's also exactly 10 meters deep, the pressure at the very bottom of both is exactly the same. Shape is completely irrelevant. Depth is everything.
Section 3. Calculating force on a dam.
Let's connect this to the real world with a massive example. Imagine a giant dam holding back a reservoir. The dam is 500 meters wide and the water is 80 meters deep right at the dam's face. So how do we calculate the water's total pressure against that vertical wall? Well, here is a very common mistake. You can't just plug in 80 meters. Why? Because the pressure isn't 80 meters deep everywhere on the wall. Up at the very top surface, the depth is 0, so the water pressure is 0. At the bottom, it's at its absolute maximum. Because pressure increases in a straight, linear line as you go deeper, we actually have to calculate the pressure using the average depth, which is exactly halfway down the wall, 40 meters.
When we plug that 40-meter average depth into our formula and multiply it by the huge surface area of the dam, we get a completely staggering total force, 1.57 times 10 to the 10th newtons. That is nearly 16 billion newtons of force constantly trying to push that wall over. But you know what's truly mind-blowing? Despite this gigantic number, it actually represents just a tiny fraction, less than 0.1% of the total weight of the water in that lake. The lake bed is doing the heavy lifting and supporting all the rest.
Section 4. The atmosphere and ocean depth.
All right, let's bring this right into your living room. We've been talking about water, but you are currently sitting at the very bottom of an invisible ocean of fluid, Earth's atmosphere. At sea level, standard atmospheric pressure is 101 kilopascals, which scientists conveniently just call 1 standard atmosphere. This number literally represents the weight of a column of air extending roughly 120 kilometers straight up into space, and it's pressing down on your shoulders right now.
But let's compare these two fluids for a second, water versus air, because they behave very differently. Water is a liquid and nearly incompressible. At sea level, it's about 775 times denser than air. Because you can't really squeeze water, its density stays practically identical no matter how incredibly deep you dive. Air, on the other hand, is a gas, so it's highly compressible. Its density is highest right here at the surface because it's being squished by all the weight above it, but it drops off incredibly fast as you climb higher in altitude.
And this leads to an absolute mind-bending comparison of scale.
because water is just so incredibly dense compared to air. 120 entire kilometers of our atmosphere equals the exact same downward pressure as just 10.3 meters of water. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. A quick 10.3-meter dive into a pool adds the equivalent weight of the entire sky above us. That's wild.
Now you might be wondering, and this is a classic student question. Wait, does atmospheric pressure push down on the pool water too? The answer is absolutely yes. Fluid pressures stack on top of each other. So if you dive 10.3 meters underwater, you're actually experiencing 2 total atmospheres of pressure. 1 entire atmosphere's worth of weight from the water itself, plus the 1 atmosphere of weight from the air pushing down on the surface of the pool. Both of those weights are pressing on you.
Section 5. Final summary and next steps. Before we wrap up, let's quickly summarize these key points and lock in what we've learned. Here are your crucial takeaways. First, pressure is simply the weight of a fluid divided by the area it's pushing on. Second, for any static fluid, we use that elegant formula. P equals h rho g, depth, density, and gravity. Third, remember our speed bump. Depth, not horizontal width, is what actually drives pressure. And finally, fluid pressures stack on top of each other, meaning your total pressure is the water's weight plus the atmosphere's weight.
Now, I want to leave you with a fascinating problem to ponder. We just saw that going down just 10.3 meters adds a whole atmosphere of pressure. So what do you think the crushing pressure is at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, 11 kilometers straight down? It is well over 1,000 times the pressure you feel right now. The sheer weight of the ocean at that depth is practically unfathomable. But what happens when we try to harness or push back against fluid pressure inside an enclosed space? We are going to uncover that fascinating mechanism in our next explainer on Pascal's principle. Until then, keep questioning the world around